Okay, let's call this meeting to order. And pledge of
Pledge
allegiance.
allegiance to the
Pledge
flag
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We do? Oh. Thank you. Okay, roll call. We'll start over here with, Laura, do you want to start? Just
Sure. Laura Leroy, I'm here.
Patricia Zimmerman, present.
John Barry, present.
Ed Hedges.
Peggy Hall, present.
Marty Mantonfeld, present.
John, can you tilt your microphone down just a
And
little?
I was aware that, that Alan said he wasn't going to be here today, but
Correct.
I don't know about Tom. Did Tom
I hadn't
say?
heard anything either way from
He
Tom.
might have said that in the
He-
last meeting, but I can't
I
recall.
forgot my folder on my desk
Okay,
at the other
well,
office.
we've got quorum, so we're good
yep.
to go. Do we have any public comments?
Nope.
No public comments. All right, let's move into approval of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve items 5 Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot. Second.
Movement by Marty, seconded by Ed. Any discussion on these? Any modifications? Okay, let's call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, unanimous. Moving on to financial report, the district financial report.
I do want to point out there is error in the encumbrances for the landscape committee. Don't crank that like that.
Oh, that it says 11% left?
The $200,000 for the outside the gate was allocated to them in error under the encumbrances, and then the expenses year to date, 16,000, well, actually for an October would have been 16,000, almost 17 of that. The majority of that actual landscape stuff was for that. So I made an adjustment today, so it won't reflect until the December financials, but that has been corrected.
Okay, yeah, it did look kind of out of sorts with having
Yeah.
everybody else have 78%.
Yeah, I had time to dig into it this morning, and so I found out that when they coded, the inside and the outside were both coded the same, and the outside should have been coded to the general fund. So I had made an adjustment to credit back the expenses that had happened to date, as well as any future ones, and the encumbrance will go to the general fund going forward.
Thanks for,
Well, I think there's a safety and security, there's an error in that what it had, no, up above on the summary, what it's carry forward. 'Cause it's blank and it should.
It is blank because there's nothing been carried forward yet. We don't have the audited financials, so it's
But
correct.
from the prior year, there was.
Understood. I can't
98
fill that in until we have the audited financials.
What's that?
I can't fill that in until we have the audited financials because the entry has not been made.
Or that is from 24.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
I will double check, but the financials don't
Look
show
at
it.
Look at the financials
Yep,
for
I'll
the end of
double check.
September. There was $98,457.
All right, I will double check.
And I think your year-to-date actual, it should be like 772 or something, 198, 772. There's a, don't add up, and the financials had a different number in it.
You're looking at October, right? Not November. This is October.
Is that,
You were talking about October, not November. These are October.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
but generally, we're tracking just where we thought we would be with encumbrances. What's the word now on when we'll see the audit completed? I know
They have a deadline of March 31st.
31st.
Yep.
Are you done charging all the?
That's actually not, by the time we get everything in, it's probably December. So by the time they get all the paperwork and they get everything done, actually the end of March is pretty fast.
So are you done charging everything to last year's budget?
Trick question. Everything pre-audit has been put in. As they do the audit, there may be some items that either get added or removed from last year's budget. So yes and no.
We're close, though.
It should, generally, they're not substantial. So, yes.
Right. Any questions on the financials at this point?
I just don't understand how they can do that, because we never got away with it. We always had to do
Every year we have adjustments because they make adjustments. They move, normally it doesn't affect you. It's behind the scenes in the enterprise fund. There's like revenue things that get moved around in bond if they find some things that are off. So they just,
Government organization, they do anything they want.
and it's backwards from regular accounting. So this blew my mind when I learned government accounting. Like
Yeah.
it just like take everything I learned, throw it out the window, and this is how they do it. So. Yeah, but they're generally the adjustments that they make are small, like, I mean, hundreds, maybe a few $1,000s, nothing substantial.
Just in the business world I come from, within 1 or 2 days of the end, we had to put accrual so that your actual Septembers were your Septembers.
Right,
But,
and
but you guys keep charging things to them. Anyway, so anyway, it's, okay.
Well, with that being said, let's move on to Mr. Ed's numbers.
Well, these, clarify these a little bit. This is a little different than last year because they put different things in the budget. But we have our carry forward from 24 is there. And then based on the unaudited end of September preliminary numbers, put it that way, that's how much everybody underspent in the unspent 25 budget. That's how much they underspent or overspent their budget. And those numbers will change based on the charges that they've been putting against last year's budget and stuff. But if those were the actual numbers, then we would have a projected carry forward balance in each of those areas. In this year's budget, our total budget included on proceeds, if you look at our actual budget, it included bond proceeds to pay for the building plus what we have to pay, the 400-some thousand that we have to pay. Down below, if you look down below. So, and then we also, ponds and safety and security, part of the deal was we were going to use 400,000 of their capital reserves to fund those big projects, and then they were going to pay that back next year. So that's why there's the 400,000 in the future budget transfers, because that has to come out of our capital reserves to go down to the budget. There's also, we were supposed to pay about 110, I think it was actually 108,000 or something for the streetlight removal. That didn't get paid last year. That has to get paid coming forward. So to me, that is the safety and security, their 300,000 or thereabouts, would come down by 110, and then we would have to add share. But all those transfers won't happen probably until towards the end of the budget year when we.
They come out of the capital reserves then, the top one? Okay. Let's just,
Well, for the ponds and safety and security, that would come out of the capital, but then next year they will pay that back.
yeah.
Or underspend, one of the two. Yeah.
The 110,000 for the street light, that will come out of safety and security.
And that didn't get paid because we just didn't get invoiced, is that?
They didn't do any of the work.
Well, that would be a reason to.
They cut the PO, but they can't move anything yet, so.
we paid the FPL portion of it, but we haven't paid the vendor who's actually doing the work.
So with all of that, and then with our unspent budget, we basically have a future fund balance surplus of about $750,000. It's all subject to change based on the audited numbers. It'll change a little bit, actually in the different reserve accounts, but
For the FY '25, fiscal year '25.
25, 26.
yeah, the audit, yeah, these numbers, the
For FY '25.
change a little
Yeah.
bit. But we're right at the 750,000 balance surplus.
But we're still pretty young in the year, and you know how that gets eaten away at very quickly, so. Well, positive, I'm not wanting to go on a spending spree either. Yeah.
I had that discussion with safety and security at their meeting. It was October, and I'm like, you've already spent your entire budget for the year for that line.
Well, they had some big things planned, so yeah, we just
But
got
they didn't budget for what they were spending. And that's what I was trying to make.
They bought some extra speed monitoring equipment that they didn't budget for.
At least they're not doing another road that we didn't budget for.
No.
So that would be a big one.
It was about $25,000.
Okay. Any other questions for Ed on his projections?
No.
Ponds update. I know Doug
Doug
is,
is online.
yeah, he said he was in Disney. I'm
He's
going
never
like,
home.
You don't have to.
He's taking great advantage of retirement, so
Yeah.
yeah. I think he wanted to talk to us mostly because of the pond standards.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Doug, you're up.
Well, I have two things later on the agenda, the pond standards and the new core member that we're asking to be added. The only other thing is we're on schedule for the bid opening for Pond 43, which is the biggest project we have next year. And that's also why our budget increased this year, and we borrowed some money from reserves to do that. But that bid opening's on December 17th, and we have a ponds group recommendation meeting, a regular meeting, and that's scheduled for January 7th. And then that will go to PPAC for recommendation on Thursday, January 8th, which will be your first meeting, and then board approval on Thursday, January 15th. So that's the schedule right now. And everything looks like through the bid opening, we're on target. And the meeting for the ponds group is already scheduled for January 7th. So unless there's not an audit or something coming up, I'm sorry, not an audit, unless we don't have a quorum, those dates should be good.
It's up to you if you'd like to skip and do items D and E first and then get all of Doug's stuff off and
Yes.
then he
Can
can
we-
go.
Do we have to make a formal?
It's up to you. No, it's up to you. You can make the
Yeah.
recommendation as the chair.
I would like to have Doug, you go forward with the other two pieces that you've got then.
Okay, the one is we have an opening on the core team of the ponds group when
I turned it off.
when Pete Audette resigned in October. That was posted, and Harold Dagnow, who's been a member of the group and doing the conservation area for the last few years, submitted an application. The ponds subcommittee voted to recommend him being a member of the core group going forward. And then we need your approval to bring him onto the core team.
All right. Do we have a motion to accept the recommendation for Harold?
So make a motion to accept the recommendation of the pond subcommittee for their new candidate.
We have a second. Okay, we have a motion by Marty, a second by John. Any discussion? I think Harold's a great fit. He's been a key contributor. Yeah. All right, let's call it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. Tell Harold thank you. Go on to the ponds committee, or the standards, I should say.
The standards was led by Jennifer McLean, led the standards effort for Gateway. We had a member working with her, Mike Causey, that worked with her to come up with the standards that now we're asking for your recommendation. We in the Ponds Group recommended it for approval. I would just say that nothing, up until now, we had standards in Pelican, but it was never approved. And Gateway did not have standards in this area. Now that with this standard that you're voting on, Gateway will have standards. Our standards are in a few areas. We have a little, what do you say, more stringent standard. But there's nothing in the standard that changes the way we need to operate. It's just that now we have a formal standard. And like I said, Causey worked with Jennifer on these standards, and the core team recommended these to be approved by PPAC.
So from your perspective, Doug, there isn't anything that you took issue with that you
No,
were, okay.
no. And we had some changes through the process. I mean, Mike sent a note to all the core members for updates, and we had some changes. I'll call them minor changes, but we're in total agreement with this.
Okay. All right, good.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the standards that Doug is recommending.
We do need to vote on it, right?
Yeah, because I have to take it to the board. So it's past PPAC, and if you guys are good with it, then we'll take it
It
to.
says it's informational, so that was the,
I made a
Well,
motion.
Okay, we've got a motion by Marty. I'll second it, Peggy. And any other discussion? Any concerns anyone has?
Ponds Committee's good with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, that's
They do
what
a
I
good
said.
job.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
I have another thing up about ponds. Can I bring up something while Doug is still on the
Sure.
phone?
Doug, don't take off yet.
Yeah, there's been some consideration about putting out a bulletin in Pelican Preserve about the fishing on the ponds. I'm not sure whether the standards that you are now putting forward includes the fishing issue, or whether it's just other things, so I didn't have a chance.
I believe there is a section on fishing in there as I read
I read it
it.
in there.
Okay.
No,
Section.
the standards is for maintenance, Patricia. Gateway does have a separate standard on fishing for Gateway, but it's not part of this. And we have a standard within Pelican that we just want to put that we'll put I'll call it refresh the information. Not, it's the same information. It's just make sure with all the new people to make sure they understand. That's why we'd want the communications.
Okay, I
Actually-
think that's an excellent idea, but I wanted to say that when I looked at what the GSED policy and program was, it's asking for people to have a fishing license according to the
Florida
Fish
state
and
law.
Wildlife Conservation Area. I don't know if we can override that in our community.
Actually, in section C on page 13, it does have a fishing policy. So,
Well, I guess I need to know exactly. I put together some pointers of what we should tell the community. The GSCD property adjacent to the ponds is allowed to be used for recreational purposes, for example, to fish, birdwatch, picnic, and sunbathe.
Who wants to sunbathe next to the
Sunbathe.
pond?
And then it goes on to say that no activity is allowed between sunset and sunrise. So I just need some clarification, what you would like to put out into the community.
we have designated fishing areas.
And we have designated fishing areas, and people, individuals must practice the catch and release. The other thing is if you're not
can't eat 'em?
allowed to go behind somebody's private property
without permission.
without permission, and if homeowners wish, they can report a violation, but they should call the police and not the GSEDD. So I'm just wondering I sent this to you, Doug, but I realize you're off having a fun time, so.
As of right now, as far as calling the police, you guys did not approve going ahead with that no trespassing thing, so calling the police, they can't do anything.
it's even more convoluted when you're talking condos because people don't own the property, the condo association owns the property.
Oh, someone needs to give me some advice on what you want the message to say.
And the other thing is, I assume that the flowway fishing regulations would be gateway since it's not our, we don't own the flowway being Pelican Preserve. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
So is there a point of contact for Patricia that we could get from the ponds group for clarification?
Yeah, well, we have a person responsible for that is Richard Hennessy's responsible for that, for fishing. So it would be him. But I'm okay working with Jim and Richard on that with Patricia.
Okay. That good enough? That'll help
Yeah,
you?
okay, thank you.
All
I'll
right.
look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Doug. Enjoy your mouse time.
Doug, thanks for keeping everything together and on track with the pond subcommittee. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Marty.
job.
I second the motion.
Yes, he does a lovely job. Okay. So
Back up to A.
we're going to 8A now, communications review. So you're on tap.
Okay, I don't know if anybody took a little bit of time to look at what the report was for this month. Several bulletins did go out. In fact, there was one that actually went out this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we I just heard about that late last night, but I'll tell you, I love working with Randy, was extremely responsive. Faye Formosa was extremely responsive, and we got that out early this morning, so it could be in everybody's hands. So that it is working very well. Well, the next big thing will be the presentation. Well, the ponds fishing bulletin will come out. Then we'll do a lot of work on the presentation for January 13th.
How do you see that going? Is it going to be a panel?
Well, I'm recommending, and I think I've talked a little bit to Carol already, not to Bob, but Carol wants to start it out and have some comments. So I'll talk to her about what she wants to cover.
Carol, can you come up here because nobody's gonna be able to hear online?
I'm going to just take about 5 minutes and talk about the methodology and basically the differences that they'll see in their taxes from one year to the next, so that they can kind of follow it. And then I pass it over to Patricia, who's going to moderate and have not only talk about the PPAC, you guys, what you guys are working on, but then also introduce the 3 subcommittee chairs. They're going to talk about their particular areas, and then Bob is going to wrap it up.
Okay.
And take any questions there might be.
Should we have an overarching introduction?
Oh, yeah, I was going to
before?
mention that. Before Carol
Before
gets up
Carol.
there and talks about the methodology, we will have a basic overview
Okay,
of
good.
GSEDD and the relationship between us and them. And yeah, we'll do the overview first.
Right.
And I have,
Why it's happened, how come it's there. Just a little bit of history. Bring everybody up to date.
Sounds good. Are you going to want representation from us?
I would love it. Who wants to be part of it?
Well, I mean, I can come and support in any way you want. So,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, I'd love all of you to be there.
Well, I just don't, how do we do that with sunshine, though?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is a formal presentation. It's not really,
It would just be to have to be careful. I don't know.
I could answer questions, I believe, but I won't communicate with you. How's that? That'll work.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be giving everybody a list of the program and how we see the information being.
Jay, if you want to talk, you have to. We'll train you in.
Yes, my name is Jay Gann. I am the new very new, chair of the Safety and Security Sub. My question is on this, do you want representatives from each committee? I haven't heard anything about it, so, until now.
Because
So-
Jen had agreed to do it, so by default. Oh, really?
Nobody told what?
Well, Jen knew about it.
I heard it on the notice from John shooting.
Yeah.
That's how I found out.
I had connected with Jen probably 4 months ago when he first asked, and she was in agreement to do it. So if that broke down communication, we apologize.
So
Are you-
I have photos of the committee work that'll be part of a slide. And then hopefully we'll have a chance to talk and we can just do an outline of what we think you should cover. And I think we're talking a 10-minute overview at the beginning, 5 minutes with Carol. The panel could be 10 minutes each, 10, 20, 30, 40. It's going to be an hour.
Laura, could that be published as a workshop, PPAC workshop? That way,
Be a notice and everything too. It's not a district meeting, it's a Pelican meeting of the gunk. It's not a district, it's like, this is.
I know, but
This
if
is a
we-
formal Pelican meeting, that is not, that is just something that you guys are gonna be attending. So,
And making,
otherwise it needs to be recorded and minutes and all of that stuff, so.
trying
not
to get
something that-
around the.
it wasn't anything
In case
that
there was
we-
any discussion, that,
Yeah, just
get
don't,
around.
what?
have discussion.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll keep it focused on the audience.
One-on-one.
Yeah, okay. Anything else that you want us to be aware of that we might need to be helping you with?
Well, I wanted to note that we got a shout out on the Pelican Preserve Community Association Board, put out a nice note, and they thanked us for all that we do, and I wanted everybody to acknowledge that we were in that list of people that got thanked. It was pretty good. And the other thing was that we had kind of a casual conversation about was what do we do about the newsletter from GSEDD? How do we distribute that adequately but not
Onerously.
we know that Faye Formoso is pretty serious about only putting out things that are really relevant to our community.
Well, that's more discussion to come on that, I'm sure.
C5,
questions?
part of our community.
Well, they're part of Gateway.
They are, yeah. But they don't get access to any of your amenities or inside or anything like that, so they're just, I think they're part of the greater Pelican area over there, but they're not part of Pelican Preserve, like where you are inside your gate. They've always been
They are
treated
entitled to
separately.
use the Gateway Commons pool, right?
Yep, same as every other Gateway property owner. If you own property in the Gateway boundary, you are entitled to all of the amenities inside of Gateway, the Gateway amenities.
And that would be the other thing to add to your list is how do we inform about the amenities they may want to take advantage of. I would also like Jay, and if you have anything that you would like to have communicated out, I mean, Patricia's doing a lovely job of getting information. So if you're getting a lot of questions on something repeatedly, sometimes that's a good thing to.
We've already had that opportunity. Did you want to update them briefly?
Yes, basically
Can you just wait till sorry. It's hard when you're on, you can come on, no, you can come talk, just wait till you get up here. It's just hard for people online and for minutes purposes.
We're getting off track.
basically, I've had a couple of regarding the holiday safety bulletin. They were talking about bike lanes and designated bike lanes, and one said that no, there are no designated lanes, there are no bike lanes, it's all-purpose lanes, and so forth. I've got a meeting with Gateway next week to just try to clarify all of those comments.
And-
Find out.
Yeah, I had gotten comments back about the no bikes on the sidewalk, which people had said, that's a state law, we can ride on the sidewalks. Well,
Until there is a designated bike lane, and then
then they,
where you have to walk, I mean, you have to ride in a designated bike lane.
this comes up every once in a while with the bike lanes and the markings and everything, so, yeah, let's bring it up again.
Well, and just for everybody here's understanding, I mean, safety and security has been debating and discussing this for at least 2 years. And they went out and, you know, because of all the changes that have gone on in the neighborhood, the expansion, the amount of bikes, the e-bikes now, and carts, golf carts having faster speeds than they ever used to have. Basically, a while back, safety and security decided that from a safety standpoint, it would be prudent to actually make that a designated bike lane. So they went out, safety and security, we hired a traffic engineering firm to actually go through and design it to the current city of Fort Myers requirements. Gave it to the city actually approved, you know, that design. We actually went out and got bid estimates to actually have it implemented. It was very expensive, so safety and security decided to wait because we knew we were going to be milling and grinding that first stretch, you know, and then, you know, the decision was, well, now that we've milled and grind that, let's then, and we want to restripe all the other neighborhoods, this is the time to actually implement the bike lane. So it's been an ongoing process probably for 2+ years, and it's just now kind of yeah, probably more like 4, Carol says. So it's just now coming, you know, to fruition, and a lot of people are going back to, you know,
All history.
20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, but the community has changed and expanded quite a bit since
From
then,
now
so.
until that time, you know. To me,
He's done an excellent job of
I think
finding
it's
all the
moot
history.
Once it's get done, because it's approved by the city.
It's been proved to be a designated bike lane, and it just isn't one yet because we haven't marked it as such. Should we go out and tell people this it will be, and let's start considering it?
Well, do we have the budget
We'll
to?
talk about this next
I
week
think
with
you gotta
GSEDD. Make sure they're in sync with the GSEDD.
We're having a meeting here. Yeah, safety and security's meeting, we're meeting here, so
Clarify those items.
talk about that.
We'll have to have some decisions made prior to bidding out the markings, the street markings, correct?
The plans for correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, but the plans for the engineer include having the bike lanes marked on the roads. That was part of the
Okay.
request.
When
So
we
we've
do the
got that already in
restriping
there.
of
Yeah.
everything.
So there's, you know, obviously it's gotta be lights, then it's gotta be streets, then we gotta wait, and then they can do the striping, so there's some time.
Coming, but you can't say it's a bike lane until.
Until it's actually made a bike lane, properly
Okay,
striped
with
as a
the
bike lane.
emblems in the middle.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and then, was there anything else on your communications part? Okay. Oh, we've got, Cece wants to have a word?
Hi, Cece Haas, Casella, and on the Safety Committee. Laura, did I just hear you say there's a meeting going to be held here with the Safety Committee?
No. There's not with the
I thought I
safety
heard
committee.
you
No,
say
there was
that.
a request to meet with Chelsea for clarification on the bike lane stuff, or there's just a few of us that are getting.
Oh, okay, because I thought,
No.
if there's a meeting that I haven't been
No,
told about.
no, it's Jay, myself, you,
Okay.
Chelsea. So yeah, we're gonna,
Okay.
just because there were so many questions, we're gonna try and hash some of that out and clarify.
And we'll be able to report at the next safety and security meeting about that meeting. So that will be really timely.
That can be a part of our staff update, so yeah.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thanks for the clarification.
yep.
All right, let's move along to the monuments out on tree line. We've got 2 proposals, vastly different pricing. It looks like the first one is at the level of, we're interested in coming forward and working with you. And it'll be about, what did they say, 30 35.
The
so-
RWA one?
No, this is
Bowman?
the Bowman,
Oh, okay.
and that includes,
Bowman seemed to really understand the concept of a refresh. Nope, nope. But just from their, what they wrote,
Yeah.
it was, seemed like they understood the refresh and to
I'm looking for the total page and I'm driving.
adding and updating things, but
Oh, those are
keeping with the
phases.
character of,
That's just gonna tell you each phase
Yeah.
what you're gonna pay.
I was looking for a total.
See one either.
the
I just added 'em.
RDWA seemed to focus on adding a monument.
well, and I guess I'm very confused about the RWA, why it would be $277,000 to just work on monuments out front. That, to me, is, I was shocked. I mean, it's almost like they're treating it like a full building build, with. And that's not even the materials and the build itself. That's just the management of
design.
it.
Phase D says TBD.
Yeah.
True, but if you look at the cost that they're projecting right now is $277,000.
She said that the RWA quote was for the turnkey, so that would be everything. That's all in, design, construction, handover, they're done, walk away, you have what you want.
How can they bid on something we don't even know what it's going to look like?
She said that you can choose to authorize only up to the design portion of it. You don't have to authorize the entire thing. We do that quite often, actually. So I mean, I'm not saying you have to take RWA, but if you want to do RWA, you have the option to just, same with the Bowman one, you can say, we authorize phases A, B, C.
Yes,
Yeah,
my
so-
problem, I don't know what these people were told, but my problem is the first sentence of the RWA, the district looks to have an entry monument design for the Pelican Preserve. Looking for more than designing a monument, we're looking at a refresh that might include adding a monument, changing the monuments to the guardhouse. Bowman seemed to be, what they wrote seemed to be a lot more along the lines for kind of a refresh, looking at that whole entrance. But
Yeah, it's.
Don't you think this is a little premature,
Well, I
since
had
we
said
haven't
that.
even sold the corner properties yet, where we were going to take the money from?
I had said that at the last meeting, and I was told sometimes the ramp up to something takes a year or more. So for us to start now is prudent, even if we just do the design phase. Because I had the same thought as you.
I mean, you can go through the design phase of it. That gets you, your numbers are a pretty good feel of where you're gonna be should you decide to move forward by the time we start to do like some serious budget numbers. Because it all needs to be, the high water will need to be set by June. And that's 6 months away, and that's really not that long, so.
was it just, the sale of the property up at Treeline and Colonial Wood, easier, but landscaping did have in there like 5-year capital plan about. That's out there in their kind of 5-year capital plan.
$500,000 will be a drop in the bucket.
Well, from what I'm hearing, Laura, you say you agree that moving at the pace we're going right now, we're not putting the cart in front of the horse for.
I don't believe so, no. Neither
So
Chelsea and I talked quite extensively about it. And just because even, especially with the holidays coming up, you're gonna have a delay already right now. By the time they get there, we issue the PO, we get all the paperwork, they start meeting, they get your ideas. I mean, it won't move as fast as you think it's going to move. And so especially because we have to have our high water numbers for next year need to be approved by the middle of June, which
We have
is
to
just 6
decide
months
if
away.
this is a 2026 budgetary item even.
If you decide that that's what you want to do, you would need to know by then. And even if you decide, well, hey, we want to do it in 2027, but let's put some of the money aside in 2026, that's going to affect your budget. So I'm not pushing you to do it. I'm just
I
saying that the time is gonna come much faster than you think it's going to. I've learned that the hard way on lots of things. We think we have all this time and all of a sudden it's 2 weeks before we need it and it's like, oh crap, we're not ready.
Okay, well, it looks like, for the other,
Could I ask a question? Did we get anything from these two companies about what they have done in the past? What they're,
The district has worked with both of these vendors before.
okay. And so there is history with them?
Yes. Bowman is doing some work with us up at the Commons for the park up there. They're doing a lot of that. And RWA is actually the one that we're using to do our refresh inside the community here. So we're currently working with both of these vendors.
the design phase for our, what is it, RW?
RWA. Let me see.
RWA is 32,500, if I'm reading this correctly.
I get to the pricing. This is just the stuff. Let me go this way. Here.
Set a design for another monument, just
That's whatever you decide, that's comes out of those meetings. It's not just for a monument. If you read the second sentence, it says that that you are looking to modernize it and match the surrounding communities. It doesn't say that they're just gonna design another monument. And that's what would come out of the staff coordination and meeting would be, what do you guys want? Because they're not gonna design.
And will we have FaceTime with the designers, or is this going to always be funneled through either you or?
No, that can be determined. If you want to be involved in the meetings, we can absolutely make that happen. We can even have them come to PPAC. They probably wouldn't come, but they would, well, they're local, so otherwise they could join through Teams and be on that way.
Can we go back to the staff recommendation?
It says RWA just because we're working with them right now.
So it definitely makes sense to have some kind of signage, et cetera, on the other side of the place. Because as we all know, it was only one-sided because that's kind of where tree line ended.
Correct.
And so now we really need signage. We really need presence when you're coming north. But what other problems are we really trying to solve when we say upgrade or refresh? Is it really?
a lot of the, we spent some money, or Pond spent some money to get the fountains working and stuff. There's a lot of issues with some of the electrical in there. It's 25 years old, and it, just a lot of it is kind of maybe date. Look, I like discussion about, doing whatever refresh to set it for the next, 15 or 20 years. Sure, of Pelican,
Yeah, we don't want to,
Tuscany type.
Yeah, I mean, it would be
look and
an
feel,
a
and stuff,
real
but kind
big
of,
deal if we
right.
totally
but
redesign and change the whole image. I mean, we're really looking to do that.
so I think there's more than just building a monument on the other side, but I don't know how you need to do, but.
and again, it does come down to budget to some extent though, too, because if we wanted to do a clean refresh with, a new take on both sides, I mean, yeah, we're probably talking a lot of money, more than what the safety and security. Yeah, go ahead.
Also, if you have to ask each one of us, we're all going to have a different opinion about what we think
Yeah, we'd have
we're
to
going
have
to speak with one voice if they come to this meeting. We're all going to have different.
Would be no new gatehouse.
Distill it down into.
Well, I would see us having to have a workshop where we can sit down
And I
and
mean,
really.
that would be what you pay them for, is to take all of your ideas and to find something that something common that you can all agree on, because like you said, everybody's got their own taste, they have their own ideas, they have their own price line, they have everything, you're all gonna have a different view of this, and that's part of what you pay them for, is to take all of that and come up with something that you all say, yes, that's what we want.
You need a motion on this agenda item?
We need to hear from Cece first, so.
This is just CC Haas. Just a very low-cost idea could have been when they repainted. Something very significant is our logo, our Pelican image. And they painted over those. They were already etched into the stone on the columns and even on all of our monuments at the property. And now it's all one color. Look at the HP on the back of your computers. It's exactly that, where if they had been left or just now, I'd go paint them myself just to give them that definition. There's no money involved. That's not construction, and it's identity. I think that's something that we need to.
Well, we need to reflect Gateway at Pelican Preserve. I'm not kidding.
This is where we would have to have some agreements, because I think that.
Need a logo like that, Gateway.
Oh, broccoli?
Are you, we were getting through a whole meeting without the broccoli statement.
Didn't say it.
Okay, so what do you think? Patricia, where's your head at with
Well,
this?
no, I'm just saying that it's a, it's what, a branding. It's a branding thing. Are we really going to give up the Pelican? Are we really going to give up this look? It's
I don't think that,
rebranding. I think that's going to be a
Yeah.
huge undertaking and not necessary.
I don't think the intent was for it a rebranding. That's not where this came from.
And it, Ed, this is me, but, this is a big issue. We need to take our time. But I wouldn't be opposed to having both firms go through a process and come up with concepts, and then you could pick and choose whichever one you wanted. Because different firms they will come up with a different thing, and a lot of times, it's almost like a competitive design process or whatever, but
They're not going to do that for nothing.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, but, if we're talking about spending several $100,000 on this, to
Probably
spend an
talking
extra
millions.
$35,000 to get a competitive design is probably not
My
unreasonable.
opinion is that the front entryway is fine. It doesn't need to be updated, okay? It's a waste of money to spend our taxpayers' money to refresh the front of the entryway. It's been like that since 2005 at least, or earlier, since before tree line went through to Colonial.
Do you feel the same way if we had the money from the sale of the parcels? Oh,
I'm against selling the parcels.
they're already for sale, so let's move past that and just say, if.
I understand they're
if
for
it's
sale, but we have to vote on the bid, and I don't have to accept the bid.
Right, true, yeah. Okay. John, you haven't said too much.
I don't like spending the money. I would rather go with Bowman and more than one idea. At least give us some choices of what they would recommend.
I'm a little, I don't know if the timing is going to be right in terms of taking this on the 26th budget year. Start.
I don't think we would,
So I'm almost saying hold off, because I also don't know what PPCA and the actions they want to take trying to transfer any assets would have an impact on this with. I mean, what happens? Thing? So do we do it now before we do any transfer discussion?
We had one time thought that this should be opened up to discussions with people at Pelican Preserve besides ourselves. That this is a big issue. This is a big thing. And I don't think we, the 5 of us, 7 of us, have the right to rebrand or reclaim or refresh what is the image of our community without more input. And I don't know how we get that input.
Yeah.
But
It's a fair statement. I mean, we do we do need to have people visualize it prior to action so that they can see what we're talking about.
Then when they complain about it, you ask them if they went to the meeting, and they'll say, oh, I don't go to those.
Likely, but we'll just deal with that, yeah. So, I don't know, there's a part of me that just says, don't do it now,
Well,
but I know the timing is suspect.
Carl, do you want to weigh in? This was kind of your original idea. All right, you're on.
Carol Pancock, Avila. I don't know what I was looking for.
Okay.
I just know that when I turn in, it just looks fine, but it doesn't look great.
It doesn't speak to the vibrancy of the community in my mind.
There you go.
Yeah.
It just looks tired. Maybe that's the word.
That's a fair word.
Of course, we are old people here, so.
So tired.
I mean, when I started reading both of the proposals, I mean, I did not think of having any, even including the monuments at Tree Line and Colonial in this discussion at all. I figured we'd just leave those alone until something happens, and if nothing ever gets sold or whatever, 3 or 4 years from now, we'll, spruce those up. I was thinking more of the main entrance coming in, and I just wanted to look more
Okay.
So here's a thought.
active.
Why don't we put out
And
a
I
community?
thought maybe going to our community. We have a lot of talent in Pelican Preserve. Maybe forming some sort of ad hoc committee.
I mean, that's a potential, but I mean, it would
Let
have to be
them
done in
brainstorm.
conjunction with a professional design group.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want us just to say, here's, the front gate refresh
Yeah,
committees.
Here's two
I-
options. Do you like A or do you like B?
Yeah.
No, I think you need a
They
lot
could
of
be giving
input
the
into this.
inputs, yeah.
So why don't you
And if it
put out,
doesn't happen until the budget year 27, that's
Still
no
there,
big
yeah.
deal.
why don't you ask the community,
Construction wouldn't
how much are
happen
you willing to spend
27
on
or
updating
28.
the front of the entryway?
It could be
How much do you want to spend? How much additional money would you contribute to refreshing the front of Pelican Preserve? Would you spend as a community $2 million? $2.5 million? How much do you want to spend? Then you'll get input.
okay.
I
Well-
bet you they don't want to spend a dime.
Why don't we get a better sense of what our next step is? Maybe go for the Bowman proposal just to get a sense of the scope of it. And then,
I mean, they've given us specific numbers. Well, these numbers are not going to hold fast and furious if we delay any
why we
kind of
don't
execution.
design.
You can vote
preliminary.
to approve specific phases of this, yeah. You don't have to approve the entire proposal. If you say, right now, we just want to do phase A. Right. Which will get you through your 60% design,
That's a 50% or 60?
60.
60.
So the first, phase A will get you to 30% and phase B gets you to 60.
That's $15,000.
Well, plus this, and if decides if you want to go with this graphic support, then that's another 7, so it'd be 22. It's up to you. Yep.
Would it give us a sense of whether or not, if they come back and say, this whole thing, if we did everything, is going to be $1.5 million, then we could know what question to ask. So,
And I think that having them, because this is what they do, will help you figure out what you want to do as well, because they know the right questions to ask to find out what you really are trying to get out of this.
If you want community involvement and how to reshape it, talk to their wallet.
It's not just the money, though. I mean, it's a big part of it, it's just not all of it. But maybe we could take that two-pronged kind of approach of, let's get a little bit more detail under our belts. Let's maybe move forward with more of a group, an ad hoc group. And see if we can't get
Well, and if you want to pull a group together, like for the,
A and B.
spring here is the time to do it when we have.
I really think it's a good idea to open up and have some place where people can come in and give us their opinions. We will get good information. We're not the only people who've been thinking about this, right?
And we can be posing those questions out to the community through some of our forums and things like that of, you know, are
Ask
you
the
in
people
favor
how
of
much,
this? And,
ask the people how much they want to spend on updating the front.
I mean, that'll be, it's a fair
You want to
question.
spend 2 million? You want to spend 3 million?
You'll get multiple different opinions. It's just like fixing and painting the wall, boundary walls. So, the money to do it, and others are like, it should have been done 3 years ago, no matter what it costs, so.
Well, at least
We
they
all
replaced the
agree that-
holes in the wall.
Yeah, there's something.
We all agree that we want a high-quality look in this community. And we've done a lot with the landscape. We've done a lot with other things. The repaving is going to make a big difference. People want the value of their homes to stay high. This is a market where people are starting to lose the ability to sell their homes where they think they deserve to be sold. So
And
we're
it's
going
like
to
a
get
front
people
door.
interested.
They always say, you know, front door to your house
door.
is what either sells or doesn't sell your
appeal.
house. Curb
The
appeal.
curb appeal.
Right.
We need better curb appeal.
People are leaving the community because your community association assessments are going out of sight, and so are your non-ad valorem taxes.
I'll agree to disagree with you on that, but we'll move. Do we?
My neighbors tell me.
I'll make a motion that we proceed with Bowman for phases A and B not to exceed $25,000.
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion by Ed, second by Patricia. Any more discussion on this?
Yes.
Let's do,
Chris, a
Yeah,
little
not to
wiggle
exceed
room.
25 would get you the graphic support and some reimbursables.
I think we need visuals. All right,
Do we want to talk about the input from the community at this meeting, or shall we talk about that in the next meeting?
Well,
How
to
we
me, you could even have like an open house meeting or a 3 or 4 hour period that people could give their opinion to whoever and, that sort of, and ideas, and then that could help them distill down what to actually do. I don't know if you do that before they do any of their work, or if you do that after they have 2 or 3 concepts that people could give their input in. But
maybe at minimum, we can put a call out to the community to say if there's any interest in being a part of the design refresh, a potential design refresh.
Okay.
Is that something then, Patricia, you can take care of getting that out?
Yeah, but I think we'll wait until after the new year.
Yeah, there's no use putting stuff out now.
Let's do something.
All right, so then we've got a motion and a second. Let's, any more discussion? Okay, Marty, start us off.
Nay.
Nay. I will say A, aye.
yes.
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 Okay,
I already wrote one, Marty, for no,
Well,
so,
we
before
knew
you even voted. I'm learning.
Marty is
I'm
our
learning.
consistency. He's our accountability, and we like that.
We need him.
All right, next item, C, the update.
So now let's move on to what could fund us. We've got I went out on their website and looked, and that seems to be the PDF that they've downloaded onto here.
I see the couple is back.
Are they
Are
back?
they?
Yeah?
Yeah, they're back.
What's our options for that?
We posted the signs. I mean, the next thing is if the police are there, they'll forcibly remove them because they are trespassing. So there were some steps that we needed to take first to be able to have that happen. Those steps have all been taken. All the necessary paperwork was signed off on, the signs were posted, so, and if they're there, they are trespassing. And the police have permission and authority to remove them.
You were asking for money at the traffic light. Yesterday.
Okay, so there weren't great pictures, but it's interesting looking at the aerial view on this to see really, there is quite a bit of room there. The monuments actually do take up,
What you don't see is all the drainage areas.
well, you kind of do over here, but yeah.
They
yeah.
go behind all the drainage, so.
I'm assuming that nobody just came right in and accepted
We have
it.
had no bites. The only people who seem to be interested in them are the people who are staying there, so.
You know, the one on the,
The one by Domino's?
yeah, I mean, somebody worked it in conjunction with vacant property there.
Mm-hmm,
That-
yeah.
That probably has
That's
more
appealed.
possibility to do something in conjunction with that vacant property, but
Is that parcel for sale too?
yeah, well, it's been sold at use. One of the hospitals or clinics or something owned it, but I think they sold it.
Find out who owns that and present them with this opportunity.
That's pretty much the update. Is there really isn't an update except for that it's posted, so. We aren't aware of any activity on it. I checked with Chelsea right before I came in here just to make sure.
All right, well, at least we've got the opportunity there. Number 9, staff update.
I have one update, and this will be something that'll be going to the Safety and Security Committee. It's actually on their agenda. There was all the discussion after the fire incident and everything. I've been doing a lot of digging, and I found the original deal from the county and I forgot what they called it, from the city, that states the purpose of the road when they approved the permits for it. And I gave Jennifer, because she agreed, even though she's not chair, she's championing this, and she's gonna put some stuff together. So I gave those to her, as well as the instructions that we have for PPERT for what happened, like who can declare emergency, what happens in the emergency, all the steps that go through. So she is taking that and working on drafting a document that will go to safety and security first for them to look through it. We're never going to come up with every scenario, but we're just, just generally, I mean, we can always figure that if it's going to happen, it's most likely going to be a storm event or a weather event. But she's working on putting that all together because she had questions as to like, where does it say that it can only be emergency access road? And it does show that in both of the deals that is the sole purpose of that road and who is to have access to it. There is not enough property in that area in order to make it a two-way road, so it can't be anything else unless you get rid of something that's there, which I don't see that happening. So it's destined to be what it is with the access that it has. And I guess the question is just how do we manage that in the event of a true emergency? I think that's what defining is what is an emergency is where we're.
True non-storm or storm emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then following up on that with the communications, I don't know if you all got, if maybe you're not on the list, but I got a notice that the fog was really heavy one morning. And that came out on an emergency thing from Pelican Preserve. So people have the ability to go into the lifestyles and check that they can receive emergency information on their emails or through their phones on text. And we should make that available again to everybody
Because there's
because,
some concern that Verizon, and I think it's Verizon and another one, T-Mobile or somebody, that they have a different, they can't get SMS to them. Yeah, so even though you can check off in your profile that you want them, you don't always get them.
because you have Verizon,
Because you have a protocol on your phone that does not mesh with the protocol that their system uses.
okay.
Is that a fair way to state it? Yeah,
Anna has more detail.
yeah. So yes, it's a great thought if it worked.
But doesn't it work for the majority of people?
There's a large population of AT&T and Verizon people in Pelican, so.
Right.
It's just something we would need to parse through a little bit more.
I don't know, maybe I have her reach out to me because we have Verizon here. I have a service that I pay for. We wouldn't use it for your communication, but just something for them to look into. We have a separate bill that we have every month that we use. It's like, for us, it's like $50. I don't know what it would be for you guys. But all of our lift stations, we got our hand slapped by Verizon because we were taking up all the SMS traffic. And we actually have a separate, it's like a B2B or M2M or something like that. That's, so all of the machines communicate out and it goes to a central place, which then blasts out to our utilities team anytime we have a problem with the lift stations. And we use Verizon to do that because we have Verizon, our lift stations are using Verizon. So there's like they have a tool that you can go in and I can even go in and log in, send blast messages out to the team if I want to, and it shows up on all their cell phones. So there are
something maybe-
other things out there. I mean, I don't have any idea what your cost would be with government. We get different pricing, but I know it's a thing that a lot of places use for marketing. Those texts that you get that are super annoying that say press stop to end, that's what that is. So you'd be able to like mass communicate. But if you want to have her reach out to me, I can give her some more information.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else from staff? That's it?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right, let's start with you for member updates. Anything?
Well, the Gateway Commons pool is very nice. I went to it, used my pool pass. The parking lot needs some work because of all the construction there. There are only 6 paved parking spaces there, and one of them is handicapped. The parking spaces are a little challenged, but the pool is very nice.
Currently, it's a challenge. So parking is part of our phase 1 for the park. So there will be more parking.
What's the delivery date on the building?
Their deadline is June. So as far as I know, I haven't heard otherwise. They are still on track to be completed by their deadline of June. I think it's the end of June.
I'm a little disappointed that people would not want to see the broccoli above our security gate.
You're just mean.
That's all I have.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've got going on. I think we've covered most of it, so.
The streetlights project is moving along. Very pleased with the contractor, the way they're digging everything, doing a lot by hand, boring some, cleaning up after themselves. You can hardly tell that they've been there. And I think I'd heard that they'd only really hit one irrigation line so far until the other day. They backed into a 2-inch PVC pipe sticking out of the ground over by the irrigation pond and found out that that was the end of the irrigation, the reclaimed water from the city of Fort Myers, and created a geyser there. So we now know that we actually have a reclaimed water line that is connected and pressurized and not leaking to within 20 feet of the irrigation pond. But that's the biggest mess that they've had to clean up. Some of the neighborhoods are reduce their landscaping costs, and one of them approached the landscape committee and the ponds committee to try to reduce their landscaping in their neighborhood or pay for some of the electrical for certain things. We've been trying to sort through that. And it's kind of gone to the community association as well, because the community association owns some of the parcels in there. But in reading the neighborhood declarations, the neighborhoods are responsible for landscaping any of their common areas. And the common areas, the definition of common areas in their declarations includes all lake tracts and drainage easement. And most of the ones that the community association owns, the parcels that are deeded to the community associations, are platted as drainage easements, because each pond needs a pathway to get to the pond. So there's,
Besides the 20-foot LME?
From the
you have to
street.
get to the LME from the street.
Yeah, it's street access.
It's street access to the pond. So, some of the neighborhoods are trying to reduce their landscaping costs and getting somebody else to pay for stuff. And and ponds, they went to landscaping, and then they went to the community association. And the community association, I helped them point out in their declarations where they are actually responsible for it. And I think legal's going to get involved to verify all of that. But just so it's becoming clearer who is responsible for some of these areas that have been, I guess, kind of in contention for a while. So there's a lot of kind of rumblings going on that you might hear about, but it's being worked, and I'm trying to sort out with Laura some of the gateway irrigation, who's paying for which of the meters in Matarita too that are individually metered and stuff. But so that's kind of an ongoing thing that you might hear a little bit about. And the last one from safety and security, Paul told me that since we put in the new control arms, cars have hit it 3 times.
At least, yes.
No way.
Yes, I had one as recently as last week that called me.
Is that why the gate's over in the bushes?
It was, yeah.
And
I pulled
so-
up the cameras to watch. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the residents are going to be,
There's a lot of
Billed for-
tailgating going on. A lot of tailgating going on, which is why the gates keep getting hit. So,
it's a real issue that
yeah.
people just won't slow down. They don't want, it's,
I know, well, I can somewhat address that. I didn't realize supposedly, and it looked like that may be the case, the gates, these new gates are a little slower than the other ones to go up and down. That was a complaint that I got. So anyway, I took it for what it's worth. We gave it to New IQ and said,
I
hey,
drive through there. I don't notice them being any slower.
I got that from the
than
gatehouse
the other,
too, so I'm like, they're gonna
People-
look at
People will
it.
say they are, but I don't know that they
Do we
really are,
identify
so.
who hit the gate, and do we charge them for the gate?
Oh, I know who hit it.
Can we fine them?
We can't.
They make you pay for it?
They do pay for it.
They have to pay for it,
But-
yeah.
Can we set a rate for reimbursement that would not only be like staff time dealing with this in addition to just the repair costs?
When I've sent the things out, like when the damage happened at the gatehouse to your covering, that we included our time in there as part of that cost, yeah. Unless it was just like a general contractor, then it was whatever that was, so.
It'd almost be nice to say that, hey, if you hit the gate, it's gonna be $1,200 or whatever, and that you could publicize it, but.
I could be wrong, but I believe I was told at one point that Castle actually used to fine people for doing that, and then we never saw the money. We just kept paying to get the gate fixed, and the money went somewhere. Yeah.
Gig if you can get
I
it.
do know that some communities actually do use their community association processes to like fine for speed.
And that would
their
be
thing,
completely
so.
up to you guys. We as a district can't, but we're able to charge the people that did the damage to do the repairs or go through their insurance, which I have done with some of the landscape damage that you've had in your community and the signs and things that have been taken out. I've worked with their insurance to get it taken care
I
of.
think as long as we're getting reimbursement for not only just the repair costs, but the staff time dealing with it and stuff is appropriate.
No, we're not private roads, so I don't see how the community association can fine people. That's city of Fort Myers.
Recoup costs, we should.
All right. John, do you-
Good, nothing?
nothing? Okay. Next meeting, January 8th.
I'll be here.
You should be here.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Hang on, anything in particular? I know you're in a hurry, I'm in a hurry too. Anything in particular that you would like me to have on the agenda for next time besides our standard topics?
Maybe an update on the parcels and the population trying to move in.
Okay. So parcel sale and parcel tenants?
See, right.
Can we have an update on the repair and painting of the Arch Bridge?
We can have your safety and security committee give you an update on that. There were no, they didn't give a committee there were no updates for anyone but ponds this time, so. But I'll put that on here to make sure it gets on
If
there.
it's not, well, you're getting an education now.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion from Marty to adjourn. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, Patricia second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3:15.
All right.